see what we're talking about. You can be a shining star. Wow, you'll go far. Learn to have a healthier body and a cleaner world too. Don't forget your many manners. Hey kids, for health brings it all to you, to you, to you.
Presenting today's lesson, Digestion Journey.
Your body has a number of body systems. Each system has its own special job. You have the circulatory system. It circulates blood. The respiratory system. It helps you breathe. And the nervous system helps you think. But now it's time to focus on the digestive system. It is a fascinating system and such an exciting journey through the body. And it all begins with the mouth. I guess it's time to stop eating and learn more about what happens to that bite of pizza inside of me. Exactly right. Let's begin. The digestive system is the system in your body that changes food into energy so your body can play, learn, and grow. Everything you put in your mouth goes down a tube that runs through your body. It's not a straight tube. It bends, twists, curls, and winds. It's wide in some places and narrow in others. Along the way, your body goes through a digestive process to change the food into body fuel. A digestive process? Can you explain a process? A process happens one step at a time until you reach the end result. A process can be compared to an experiment. You do one step at a time until you reach the final result. That's right. And the digestive process occurs as the body goes through steps to help turn the food into body fuel. So, in the end, the food you ate turns into energy or body fuel that helps you grow, learn, and play. Say digestive process. Digestive process. The digestive process is essential to the body. Powerful messages are sent to the brain that tell you when you need to feed yourself and when you need to eliminate waste. The digestive journey has 3 big steps. Let's begin. The first big step of the digestive process is called digestion. Say digestion. Digestion. The first step of digestion begins before the first bite. It's the look and smell of food that makes your mouth water. Is your mouth watering? This water or spit is called saliva, and it erupts like water sprinklers, spewing liquid that contains a chemical to break up the food or liquid that has arrived. Saliva comes from inside your mouth and under your tongue. Say saliva. Saliva. You make a quart of saliva each day. The gateway to your food tube is your mouth. When food enters your mouth, your jaws begin moving up and down. Chewing food and mixing it with saliva causes the tongue to position the food at the back of your mouth where it is ready to be swallowed. At the back of your mouth, the throat is constantly making decisions. If you breathe, take a drink, or a bite of food, the throat has to send it down the correct pipe. Air goes to the trachea, or windpipe. Liquid and food go to the esophagus. The esophagus is the tube that guides food from your mouth to the stomach. You know, I think my throat may have gotten confused on directions at times, especially when I've been eating too fast and talking in a hurry, and my throat accidentally sent liquid or food down my trachea. That can happen accidentally. As you swallow, your trachea closes, but sometimes food or liquid accidentally enters your trachea. This makes you cough until the food or liquid is pushed out. Only air should go down the trachea. The muscular rings of the esophagus push the food to the stomach. It is like being squeezed from a tube of toothpaste. To be safe, always eat standing or sitting upright. When you swallow food, it might still be rough or sharp, but have no fear, your esophagus is here. The esophagus has a special lining and will be able to pass the food without tearing. It works similar to this punch ball. It will stretch to let big lumps of food pass. But it isn't very comfortable to do this, so take small bites and chew your food very well.
Next stop, moving down from the esophagus, is the stomach. Before food enters your stomach, the cells in the lining of the stomach begin pouring out chemicals. These chemicals are called gastric juice, but it's not like juice, like orange juice. It's made of chemicals and it helps break down food. One of the gastric juice chemicals is called hydrochloric acid.
If poured on your hand, hydrochloric acid could give you a terrible burn. Scientists have used gastric juice in experiments. They discovered it can dissolve small metal objects in less than a week, and it can burn a hole in carpet or wood.
Wow! What does it do to the inside of your stomach?
The stomach is very smart. To keep the stomach from digesting itself, it produces a protective lining every 3 days. The lining is like a thin coat of mucus. It is similar to pretending that this lip balm is mucus and the water is gastric juice. It rolls off without harming the index card underneath the lip balm.
That's a good thing. I'm glad it does. The stomach is located under your bottom ribs above your waist. Locate your stomach. It's shaped like a curved gourd or the letter J. It's similar to a bag with walls of muscles. These muscles can stretch as you fill your stomach with food. These muscles will squeeze and churn and mix the food you have eaten into a thick liquid. It's a wild ride for its visitors. At the end of the ride, the food will look similar to a milkshake.
The stomach acts like a holding center as it prepares food for the next part of the journey. It is in control of how long a food will stay there. Soft foods like mashed potatoes are broken down quickly, but a steak may hang around for several hours. A leafy vegetable may even hang out in the stomach for more than 24 hours. Your stomach is a moody food tube part. You share your feelings with your stomach. When you are nervous, you may feel butterflies in your stomach. When you're angry, your stomach may feel hard and tense. On bumpy or curvy roads, your stomach may feel nauseated. This moody food tube part takes its time to make essential nutrients and vitamins ready for the next step in the digestive process. The original bite of food has really taken a beating. It is ready for
the second big step called absorption. Say absorption.
Absorption.
Absorption happens in the small intestines. The small intestine is the longest part of the food tube. The small intestine is long because the body needs plenty of time to further break down and absorb the food. It curls and coils to fit neatly in the abdomen. The small intestine is 14 feet long. That is the length of some cars. Say small intestine. Small intestine. The small intestine is located under your belly button. It is lined with millions of tiny finger-like villi. In the small intestine, your body chooses what it needs, absorbs it, and leaves what it cannot use. Most of the nutritious food is absorbed through the villi. Say villi.
Villi. There are millions of villi in your small intestine, but they can only be seen with a microscope. They are similar to the surface of a shaggy carpet or a fluffy towel. Just like my towel absorbs water, your villi will absorb nutritious food. This will be absorbed into your blood and will be taken to all parts of your body. I have an experiment that will help the boys and girls understand absorption and the small intestine's job. Look at this. Let's pretend this paper towel is the lining of your small intestine. We'll pretend that you just drank a big glass of sport drink. The drink has gone into your mouth, down your esophagus, into your stomach, and to your small intestine. This bowl will represent the small intestine. It's time for the villi to begin their job. The paper towel or villi soaked up almost all of it. In our pretend experiment, your body soaked up what it needed, then fed the nutrients to your bloodstream. This gives you energy to run, jump, read, and play. The third and final big step in the food tube journey is called elimination. Say elimination. Elimination. Elimination happens in the large intestine. Say large intestine. Large intestine. To understand this step, look at the water in the bowl that wasn't absorbed by the towel in our experiment. This represents undigested food and water that is left in the large intestines. Here, water is absorbed to keep the body from drying out, and undigested food passes out of the body as waste. The large intestine is shaped like a horseshoe, and it's around the small intestine. But why is the small intestine called small when it is so much longer than the large intestine? That's a great question, and there are two reasons. First, absorption occurs in the small intestine. It takes your body time to absorb nutrients. The 14 feet of small intestines allows lots of time to absorb food into the body. And what is the second reason? The second reason is because the small intestine is smaller around. Take a look at the large intestine. The small intestine is 1 inch around, and the large intestine is 2.5 inches around. Get it? Got the picture. We've brought human tissue from the esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine for you to see. Sometimes when people die, they donate their body tissues to hospitals or medical schools so that others can learn from them. These food tube tissues are kept in chemicals to save their appearance. There are 4 food tube specimens. I will share interesting facts about each part of the food tube. If you don't want to look at the tissue, it's okay. You can place your head on your desk. The esophagus has chains of smooth muscle walls. It has a special lining that allows the walls to stretch. The stomach is shaped like a bag with walls of muscle. The walls have the ability to stretch. The big step of digestion is completed in the stomach. The small intestine has millions of microscopic villi. Note the ridges. It is about 14 feet long and performs the big step of absorption. The large intestine has fewer ridges than the small intestine. It is 3.5 feet long and much wider around than the small intestine. The final step of elimination occurs in the large intestine. You may now raise your head. Here is the timeline. Chewing and swallowing may be up to a minute. The trip down the esophagus, 10 seconds. The stay in the stomach is 2 to 24 hours. The length of stay depends on the type of food eaten. Snaking through the small intestine 2 to 9 hours, and floating in the large intestine 10 hours to a number of days.
Wow! The digestive system sure provides an exciting journey. Be kind to your body when you eat. Choose foods from the healthy food groups and let the digestive process, digestion, absorption, and elimination begin.
Smoking can cause the stomach to produce too much gastric juice, causing it to become upset. Be good to your digestive system. Digest this. Be smart. Do your part.
Health to you.